Thank you, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate. Mr. President, to the resolution, please. Thank you. You know, all of us came here today knowing that this resolution would be called for a vote, and I'm sure that all of us had different expectations of what we would hear and what we would see, and I had mine own. One thing that I saw here already, Mr. President, that I thought for sure would not happen would be that the most compelling argument to be made against Senate Joint Resolution Constitutional Amendment 121 and in favor of the League and Women Voters Plan, which the Democrat majority killed 2 days ago, was made by a member of your side of the aisle who got up just minutes ago and railed against the maps that we've seen in the last few decades, talked about bipartisan compromise and the system as it exists today, and said that doesn't work. And he's right, it doesn't work. That's exactly why members of the General Assembly should not be drawing their own lines. This resolution that's before you has 5 basic steps. 4 out of the 5 steps, incumbent legislators control the process. 4 out of the 5 steps, incumbent legislators control the process. There is transparency. We applaud that. And there are hearings, and we applaud that. Although the hearings may sound a little more valuable than they really are, because we all know that we can travel around the state and we can have all the hearings we want. But if the policymakers don't listen to what was said in the hearings, it really doesn't matter, does it? It's good politics. We sit there and we nod yes, and we say, oh yes, I think you make great points. We think you're right. And then we go back, we come back here, you close the door, and you do what you want. And I know that that's the case because that's what you did in the Senate Redistricting Committee hearings. We traveled all around the state, and what did we hear from the experts? Almost everyone said you ought to have an independent commission draw the map. That is in the League of Women Voters proposal that you killed. It is not in 121. No one endorsed the notion that the incumbent members of the General Assembly as a whole should be drawing the lines. None of them did. And yet, it is in 121. You didn't hear them. Maybe you were listening, but you didn't hear them and you didn't take them seriously. The reason that the experts don't think the members of the General Assembly shouldn't be drawing lines, Mr. President, the reason that the reform groups lined up in favor of the League and Women Voters proposal and opposed to 121 the reason they don't believe that incumbents should be drawing these lines is simple. And it's something that I think that you have yet to grasp. They don't trust us. The people who vote in elections in Illinois, who pay the bills in Illinois, and who live in this state do not trust the 59 members of this Senate or the 118 members of the House or the governor to draw lines for a legislative map that serves them, the people, not the people who sit in this room. In the end, 121 is nothing other than the status quo. You are stuck in the status quo. You are stuck in time. Stop talking about the past and open up the process and say, we don't want to have Democrats have it. We don't want to have Republicans have it. We want to give it away. We want to give it away because that is the first step in restoring trust in this state. Thank you, Mr. President.